We're here Thursday.
It's so interesting before the camera turns on.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't already, gently graze the like button. Okay.
I thought you were gonna do something different.
I hadn't thought of it. So you can gently graze it. You can smash it, kick it, throw it, whatever.
Don't break your phone
while you're
or your
there,
pad.
make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell.
You don't want to miss out on anything that we're doing because we're here right now twice a week, so lots of good stuff to watch. Today, of course, we're talking about the Reef LX build that we're doing, and today is all about how to, stable salinity and heaters. Keeping your salinity and your temperature is really important. Kind of overlooked equipment that doesn't get enough attention, and how to really pick the right one that's going to work best for you. So we're going to talk about that today. And also, of course, take a look at the LX and see everything all beautiful.
Yes. And we are giving away, this morning I was like, we should give something else away.
I know, you're just throwing free stuff out there.
We are. So today you guys are lucky enough, for those of you viewing live, you're going to get a chance to win a Cube 10.
What?
As well as a $100 gift card today. So.
As well as a Living Reef t-shirt.
Wow.
So there are 3 winners today. Can't go wrong. But
like
you
that
have
shirt.
got to be engaged in the comments. Ask questions, make friends,
Yes.
chit chat, answer questions, all of that.
Talk about your day.
Yeah, make some friends in the stream. So you've got to be really active in here in order to qualify for any of those things. All are great prizes.
Yep.
So that'll be a little bit later in the thing. And we also have from Living Reef, who is doing all the livestock for the Reef LX, is a coupon code for you guys because they love you and they want you to come check out the beautiful stuff. And 10% off all livestock. So this is corals and inverts. They do not ship fish, so that doesn't count for that, but it's corals and livestock. Just use the code WBLX320 at checkout and go check out all their beautiful stuff. They do have a Waterbox Reef LX tab on their website that shows all the corals that have gone in here. So those are available. They're also on our website, which you can go to the giveaway page and check out.
Take advantage of that, you guys. 10% goes a long way when you're buying corals.
Yes, it does.
And they have an amazing selection
They
too.
do.
So.
Everything you could want, softies, LPS, that kind of cool, inverts, SPS, all of that. So.
Yep. So if you guys don't know, which I'm sure a lot of you do, but we are giving away a Reef LX 190.4 at the end of this series.
Heck yeah.
So 190-gallon system. It's a really cool tank. I love the dimensions on it. How you're going to enter that, you're going to head over to waterboxaquariums.com/huge.
Huge.
And just put in your information there. We're going to give you a lot of different ways to earn more entries, such as following us on Instagram, subscribing on YouTube, etc. And then today, at some point, we're going to give you a bonus entry code that gets you 10 extra entries into the giveaway.
Yes.
We do that every week.
Keep watching because we're going to drop that kind of randomly. And, it's a bonus of watching live and watching through the whole thing is you're going to catch that bonus. Extra entries is always a good thing.
For sure.
So, free beautiful tank for someone out there. And then, so we got 3 giveaways. They're being very active. Also, part of being able to win anything is you got to hit that like button. We need to see that number of likes equal to the people of viewers.
It is mandatory for Jess, okay? You are not allowed to not like it. Even if you don't like the stream today, you have to hit the like button.
That's not possible.
Yeah.
You have to like the stream.
Yeah.
Like it and like it. Like it's
Both likes.
Both have to.
Quite literally like it and hit the like button.
Yes, you do.
Those are both mandatory.
Those are both mandatory. Okay.
Forced likings.
Forced likings.
All right.
It helps us out, and of course
does.
notification stuff so you guys don't miss anything. So pretty much I'm always giving something away. So.
Love it.
All right, we should probably talk about our topic.
Yeah, we should
All
do
right.
that. We can do that.
So heater and auto top off, I think it's one of those things that sometimes people think isn't necessary. Especially like living in Florida. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't need a heater.
Right.
It's Florida. It doesn't get cold enough. My tank stays perfectly fine. That doesn't matter where you live. You need the stable temperature. And anything can happen that you don't expect. And you need that kind of backup there to be sure. For auto top off, just dump in a bunch of water in once a day because it's evaporated down. You don't see how it occurs, but the salinity is just bouncing all over the place. Soft corals and stuff, probably not a big deal. A lot of fish aren't going to be as worried about it, but it can cause long-term stress. And anything that's a little bit more sensitive is really going to be affected by it. So these are really important little things that will make your tank more stable, but also the auto top off is just going to make your life easier too.
Yeah, for sure. That's one thing I learned early on, that how important auto top off was.
Yes.
I didn't have it early on, and I wasn't nearly as successful. So.
Right. So we have a little video about heaters and auto top offs. a guide to large reef aquariums.
It's all about heaters and auto top-offs. An auto top-off unit automatically replenishes lost water from evaporation in an aquarium to avoid salinity swings. Water evaporates from the aquarium daily, causing swings in salinity levels. This can be stressful to corals and fish. There are three main components of an auto top-off unit: water level sensor, controller, and the pump. The pump can be placed in any type of container you store RODI water in. The sensor and pump are operated by the controller. The sensor is placed in the return pump chamber of your aquarium or sump, and when the water level drops below the desired level, the controller will trigger the pump to turn on. We use XP Aqua as our preferred auto top-off system due to its dual optical sensors, audible alarm, and ease of setup. We are using the XP Aqua Ultimate ATO on the Reef LX 320.7.
Water temperature in aquariums should not fluctuate more than 1 to 2 degrees in a day. To achieve this, a heater is required. Swings in aquarium water temperature can be very stressful and deadly to fish and coral. The ideal water temperature for a reef aquarium is 77 to 78 degrees. When choosing a heater, you need to base the wattage on total system volume and how many degrees you need to raise the temperature. Titanium heaters will last longer and not have the chance of being cracked by accidental contact with other equipment or by handling. We use and recommend Finnex brand heaters due to their reliability, precise temperature control, audible alarms, and long-lasting titanium heaters. We are using 2 Finnex 800-watt titanium heaters with controller on the Reef LX 320.7. Woohoo! And we're back.
So there you have it.
All right. So
Not all that exciting of a topic, but 100% necessary.
it is, and just knowing, what features to look for when you're, going to go for an on a top off or a heater, that's going to make your. There's a ton of different options, but you want to kind of stick with, like, for us to talk ATOs, is, an optical sensor is going to be more precise. It's not going to have as much buildup come on it that could incorrectly read it. So like with the XP Aqua, if your reservoir becomes empty, it's going to beep at you and let you know that you need to fill your reservoir instead of letting your pump just burn out.
Right.
So those kind of features, they've got the ultimate one. There's also the basic duetto, just depending on what features you need. But it's all pretty much the same concept of water drops. It automatically puts it up, even little bits at a time, just all day. So that salinity never does this. It's just always going to be completely even. Which is just one of those little everyday stressors that you can kind of avoid with it.
I do want to mention real quick, Jess, because I saw some questions here. They're asking, where is the giveaway valid for? So for the Cube 10 specifically. Okay. So it is valid here in the US, Canada, Europe, and the UK, which is all the markets we service directly. Awesome. So a lot of opportunity there. So, and then I also just saw Gamer TV, he's new to the hobby, and he's in South Africa. Oh. I don't even know if you guys know, but we just shipped our first container to South Africa.
Awesome.
So South Africa will actually have Waterbox here very soon.
Man, we're everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So yeah, so a couple countries and places you can win the Cube 10 from today. So get active in there. We'll be answering questions throughout the show and stuff from you guys. So heater, a couple things is having a controller on it that isn't just like a turn knob at the top.
Right.
Much more precise because it's got a temperature probe and it's got the heater element and the controller, so it's going to keep it consistent and not relying on an internal temperature probe of a heater. The ones that have it built into the top, like it's measuring its own heat, so it's not exactly it's emitting heat, but it's also measuring itself right there, so it's not as consistent and it's not going to be able to tell you true temperature. You're going to have to, my tank's too hot, and I turned it down a few degrees. It doesn't really matter what it says on the thing. So it's just not as precise. And heater failures are much more common with some of the cheaper heaters. Yeah. Heater failures can end your tank.
Yeah, that's they cause a lot of disasters. Yes. So when you're buying a heater, think about it very carefully. Don't buy something cheap. If you can, go for like what we showed today, because it's just going to give you a peace of mind.
Yes.
Because they just cause a lot of disasters. So.
Remember back in, auto top off used to be no other option than you doing it yourself, or like inverting like a container with water and it would like gravity feed
Right.
out. Like it was very generic. And just to have it now completely, you don't have to think about anything. You just fill this thing with some fresh RDI water and you don't even think about it. And throughout the day, it's so, I hate topping off manually.
Yeah.
It just is, I don't like it. So, because like you let it drop down and then you go put all this fresh water in and you can see the fresh water enter your tank because when there's the salinity differences, the water looks different. So you're just gushing in all this fresh water into your tank, and especially bad for small tanks. And you say that's just like, there's this huge plummeting until
Right.
it all mixes back together and gets back. So definitely ATO is like one of those I consider must-haves even though they're optional.
Yeah, and I even say, even if you have like a Waterbox cube or something like that, I think having an ATO is great. You can use one of our little clears, you can use a bucket, you can use whatever. On our Peninsula all-in-one, you know, even on an all-in-one system, have an ATO. No matter what tank you have, if you have an ATO, it's going to make your life a lot easier. It's going to keep your tank more stable, and just with that one parameter, you're going to see a lot more success, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then you can even argue in a small tank it's even more important.
Right.
Because a full day worth of evaporation
Right.
in that small tank and then jumping in all that fresh water is going to have more drastic effects than on a larger system. I mean, anything in a small tank happens more drastically.
Right.
So, I mean, I consider those because you forget about it for a day or two and your pump is suddenly running dry because it evaporates that much and you're having to put a gallon of fresh water into your 20-gallon. It's going to be a mess.
Losing,
like, you're
if
going to
you're
make some
losing
things
like
real
5%
mad.
of your water volume in a
Yes.
little tank, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
definitely use that. And I think we're going to go ahead and pull any questions. Nope. No,
Look at all
come
these
on.
people in here wanting to win a Cube 10.
Ooh.
Yeah,
They're very
there's a lot of
active,
people
too.
in here. You want some questions already?
Again, if you guys have questions, put them below. We'll do our best to get to them if we can.
We got bonus word.
Yeah, we're gonna do the bonus word.
All right, bonus word for you guys. Go put it in for extra entries. Our bonus word is knowledges.
Knowledges.
That is a perfect word. So that is what we're here doing twice a week for you guys, is dropping some knowledges.
I love that it doesn't make sense.
It's just become our word. I don't know when it started a while ago.
I love it. It's
we even
funny.
have swag with it that says
Yeah,
get your knowledges,
get your knowledges.
all that. So
Get your knowledges here on Waterbox Live.
and that's what we're doing here for you guys. So
Yeah, Jess drops all the knowledges.
there's a lot of it stuck in this head.
Yeah,
It's full of fish stuff.
yeah.
It is. So I'm presenting all my knowledges to you guys every week.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know where to put that code into, head over to waterboxaquariums.com/huge. That's where you're going to sign up for the giveaway. You're going to put the entry codes in there for the giveaway at the end of the series, which is a Reef LX 190.4. It's a $5,000 system. We're throwing in the lighting. It's crazy.
Someone will be
What are we doing?
very happy.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very happy. So, all right, now I think we're going to pull some questions if there are any.
Lots of knowledges
I
going
know,
into the
everyone's
comments.
just dropping knowledges
Just
through the
make sure-
comments in here.
Make sure you go plug that into the actual website.
Yeah. I think they just really want to say it.
If you guys love knowledges that much, you should go pick up a Waterbox Aquariums Knowledges t-shirt.
I know. So when Oliver just said the knowledges shirt is definitely my favorite shirt.
Nice.
It is.
We have it in a
Anyone else
freshwater and a
anyone else
saltwater.
sees it, they'll be like, that person doesn't know how to spell. And I don't know why they have a shirt like that. But
It's not
the
right.
people in the know, they know.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
us. All right. We have Ketting. Good heater that's easy to hide for a 10-gallon. So for all of our small aquariums, like the 10 and 20 cube, and then like the small clears, is we use the CJ Jollies. They come in a 10 or 20. And they're like real nice small footprint. They are kind of auto set for their temperature, for the gallon size, and great warranty and all that stuff. And you can check those
Yeah.
out on our website too. But the CJ Jolly works great for the small tanks.
Yeah, for sure. Courtney says, I mix water in a hot garage. How much change in salinity due to temperature when going from hot to cold ambient temperature?
I would not mix it hot.
Yeah.
I would, if you need to store it in the garage hot, that's fine, but find a way to bring it in, bring the room temperature, and then mix it, because the temperature of water does affect what salinity it mixes to.
Yeah.
Out of certain range is not going to be good for a lot of elements and stuff, and it's not going to, you mix it when it's hot water at a certain salinity and have those levels and stuff. When it goes to normal temperature, it's not going to maintain that same.
Right.
So really you do not want to store in it. That's fine if you have to, but you want to need to bring it in and let it change its temperature back down, then mix it.
Yeah. And if you want to figure out, I guess, what that changes, I think there's some, you can look online and see what the difference is, right?
Yeah, yeah. I just don't know how if we mix it when it's super hot and it cools down, how that transfers. But
Yeah.
ideally don't, I guess. But I
Yeah.
know if you might have to, you need to figure out when you're mixing it at that that water temperature, what salinity parts it actually equals once it cools down.
Right.
Or something like that. So, all right. Ryan says, do you recommend the heater to be maintained in your sump or in the tank? Always in the sump. It's out of view. I think it's always better. In a freshwater tank, a lot of times you can't put it out of view, hide it behind filter or something like that. Put it where it's going to have a lot of flow through it, because you don't want it in a low flow area and then it's heating that area, but it's not really recognizing that not a lot of water is passing through.
It's not transferring. Yeah,
right. So you want it somewhere that a good amount of water is going through, so it's keeping true to the temperature.
Thank you, Ryan. Lee Allen says, is the cube different compared to the Peninsula filtering wise? So like the back chamber, I guess.
No.
Yep, same thing.
Same thing. Different layout. Same thing. All the same stuff. It's awesome. GSXR Junkie.
Was that, you having to read the name?
Yeah. Month in the tank, 130.4. When should I consider water changes? You should, once you add fish, you should start on your every 2-week routine and just get into it. If you had a really dirty cycle or used like live rock from the ocean and had a lot of die off, you might want to start it earlier. But like generally doing a clean cycle, start your maintenance regimen once fish go in.
Cool.
Sorry, 1 second here.
All good.
If you guys have questions, put them below. Again, if you want to get that knowledge's bonus word entered, you head over to waterboxaquariums.com/huge. KP Diver says, what are your opinions on the Auto Aqua ATO and Auto Water Change?
Huh?
I know of Auto Aqua. I don't think that's here in the States. I don't
Yeah.
believe.
I think he might be asking using your ATO to do a water change.
Okay, yeah, maybe asking, you know.
I mean, I guess you could. I think there's better options out there, though. Definitely look into, I know for automatic water changes, probably a better way to do it is with like the EcoTech Versa.
Yeah.
They have it set up so you can use it as a water change module. Probably going to be more exact. I've never set up an ATO as the purpose of a water change.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that one for a while. But yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's possible. I just don't know if it's
Yeah.
the best way to do it. So I don't know enough, unfortunately. You got me on that one.
Yeah.
All right. Robin says, do you recommend changing a heater every year just so it does not fail on you? If you get a good one, no. You don't need to. If you want to buy like the cheaper glass ones that have the built-in like thing on the top, yeah, I probably would actually.
They usually start like breaking down, and then you look at it and you're like, I really need to get this out of my tank.
Yeah.
Just buy the better one.
Right, you're gonna spend so much because the cheaper glass ones, if you're buying even a slightly decent brand, are not gonna cost you that much less if you're trying to buy one even for 2 years than something like the Finnex, which are actually a very reasonable price for the tank and I mean the tube for the heater and then the controller and stuff. I think you're gonna throw a lot of money out the window going with a cheap one and just buy a good one. It's gonna last you years.
Yeah.
Invest up front generally on equipment whenever you can because it's just gonna really cost you less in the long run.
Yeah.
For failures,
you're
for
keeping live
replacements,
animals
for
in these
everything.
tanks. You definitely, spend the money on the equipment that's going to last you a long time.
Yes.
And unfortunately, most of the good equipment does carry a price tag typically, but it's worth it.
It is, and it's generally not that astronomically high over like a cheaper version.
Right.
Whereas you're going
Especially
to
in a
have
heater.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot more years with it and better, use and everything for your aquarium. So that's why we recommend certain brands. Kind of every tank we set up has the same type of equipment and everything. It's what we know works. It's what is going to get your best bang for your buck and a great product. So that's kind of our formula.
If you guys haven't already, there's 113 of you in here, according to my screen over here.
I have mine.
There should be 113 likes below. If you can, it helps us out a lot. Smash that like button.
Yes.
If you haven't already, because you're so close to it while you're hitting the like button, there's also a little subscribe button there as well. Hit the notification bell. We're here twice a week right now. So we
There's a little
appreciate you
button
guys
right next to
being
it. You're so close to it. Just hit that one too.
You're already down there.
You don't want to miss out on anything we're doing. So last week we did all about soft corals. So we talked about care, different types, everything you need to know. And soft corals are a great beginner for a lot of people. And Living Reef, of course, sent us a nice selection of different types. Put them down on the stand, let them all settle in. Have gotten them moved onto the rock in their permanent place. And also took a few more things from our 6-foot frag that was the breakdown of the Dream Build 220 and added over to the Reef LX. So everything is looking awesome. Fish are fat and happy. All the corals are settled in. We're going to take a little bit of a look, kind of show you what we're doing with the design of it. If you want to actually come on this side. So with this one, I'm kind of doing groups of things. And this is my star polyp area. And what I did is we've got a couple different colors. We've got 2 new ones from Living Reef last week. Letting them all kind of grow in different colors, kind of spread out. Then, of course, also some of your branching green star polyps. So they're going to stay on that side. And they have free reign to grow over there because it's not really connected to any big middle rock. And I have ways to kind of keep them separate. So letting them fill in and be all beautiful that way. And we've got our little war coral area that's been there for a little bit. Then a new leather from Living Reef last week. Super open and happy. I love the shape of the polyps on that one.
Jess, I love that you're grouping the corals.
I think it's going to be really cool.
I've never thought to do that, but it's awesome.
This one, for reason, that's kind of just what I want with it. And I'm like, I like this concept. You'll see right here, this is our zoanthid and polythoa rock. We got a few new ones from them. One of them is called the butt kissers, which I think is so humorous. It's going to be my favorite just because it's got a funny name. So that one is our zoanthid rock. I might end up making a second one in here as we go, but for now, doing that. I've just got a kind of a mix of other corals up on the rock as we go. I am surprisingly still trying to find a place that this wall hammer is happy. He was happy in the 220, happy in the 6-foot frag, but I've not found a spot that he is particularly opening as well as you want to. As you see, I've moved him to this middle part again. Gonna keep moving him until I find his happy place.
It's got to be.
Everyone
we were
else
talking the
is
other day. It's
so
got to be the
happy.
lighting. You think?
Maybe just the lighting because he's come from hydros to now under radions, but no other coral has had any problem with it.
Yeah, that's true.
But behind here is my going to be my Goniopora garden. And you see, I added a few more into there that we had, and we're going to be having more of those come from Living Reef soon, I'm sure. And that's just going to be full of lots of different colors of your Gonioporas, which are one of my favorite corals. And then down here, we got in some Recordia and different mushrooms from Living Reef last week, so I've added it to our mushroom rock. So we've got Recordia, we've got some Rhodactis there, we've got some regular kind of flatter type of mushrooms. Gonna let them all fill in and grow, and it's kind of contained so they won't take over the main rock itself. And then
a lot of questions about how you keep the sand so clean.
good flow.
Good
There's
flow.
also conchs in there,
Oh,
some
yeah,
sand
yeah.
cleaners, but the flow is really good. So it really
Yeah.
keeps anything from settling on the surface.
Yeah, see, there's a conch right
There
there,
he
you guys.
is. He's showing
They
himself
keep
a
the
little
sand
bit.
nice and clean.
And
Good
just making sure
turnover.
you got enough inverts and not overfeeding and stuff too. So we had this clove polyp in here and kind of going to let that one grow up. But if you look up towards that one, that's the like the spiral clove polyps from Living Reef. So that one is going to be able to grow, but you see it's still kind of being closed in by some of the other coral, so it can't take over. And then down on the bottom, put the yellow tips from Living Reef. So clove polyp's going to cover in that corner, but keeping them kind of at bay with some stinging corals so they don't grow up on all of the rock. And then added, a frog spawn or two that we had in the 6-foot frag over into the tank as well. It's filling in nicely.
It is. It's very nice. This is definitely going to be a showstopper.
Yes.
This tank is amazing. If you guys aren't familiar with the tank we're featuring in this episode, head over to waterboxaquariums.com and look up the Reef LX. This is a new system that we released.
You will not be disappointed.
Yes, you will not be disappointed. We released these last November. They've become wildly popular. There are some unique features of them. They're 30 inches deep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which
it
is
allows like
great.
maximum aquascaping depth.
So much room for the
Yeah.
fish, for coral, for rock, everything. Aquascaping it was great. Like
Yeah.
you have just so much room to be able to not have to have upright walls of stuff and just
Right.
keep it really open. Which we have a lot of good big fish or like active fish. It's perfect because they have so much swim space. They don't have any fighting issues because they got plenty of places to go and swim.
Yep. And this system here is 7 feet long. It's our largest production tank. You might ask how we have a 7-foot tank that's rimless. Well, we have a 30 millimeter bottom panel.
That's insane.
It's almost an inch. It's about 1.25 inches thick. So huge. That gives you that extra
Support to go that
Yep.
long with the rimless.
Go down to the cabinet, all aluminum cabinetry that comes to you completely assembled with the
Yeah.
exception of the doors. So the sump's in there ready to go. Huge sump on all the systems, completely assembled.
Yeah.
So
It's a beast, man.
They are beasts.
It is.
Get a lot of people to get that, or hire somebody to get that tank on the stand.
Oh yeah. No, that's no easy feat getting it in here. Living Reef actually brought their hydraulic lift in to bring this one in and up because we were not going to lift it.
Right.
Just not. Like very, very heavy. And you can actually go to the giveaway page and watch all the episodes from receiving
Yeah.
the LX all the way through where it's at now. Really cool to watch this one grow and just watch the first couple episodes of it being empty and also us scaping it. I'm standing in the tank scaping it because it's like there was no other way and I'm short.
Yeah.
But like it just to see this monster come to life and how beautiful it is now and how everything's going very, really, really, really good with it.
Yeah. So again, check out the Reef LX system. It's our luxury, high-end.
High-end
Biggest.
Yeah,
So check them out.
it is awesome. So you want to pull any questions if they are. I know the comments are going kind of crazy if they can keep up or not. Oh, there we go. I have a pair of clownfish and a lawnmower blending in my 25-gallon. Is there anything else I can add? Yes, a lot of things.
Yeah.
The only thing you're limited to is no more blennies and no more clowns. So some other small stuff can't. Firefish, Banggai cardinals, Royal Grama, a goby that sits on the bottom with a pistol shrimp. Those are the
Can't go wrong
coolest
with that.
pistol shrimp goby pair. If you don't have one, if you've never seen pistol shrimp goby pair, go check it out. It's like the coolest thing for a small tank.
Yeah.
So they kind of get lost in bigger tanks sometimes, but one of my favorite things.
Cool. Alexander says, I have a Waterbox 190. Should I run 2 heaters or 1?
One should be fine as long as you know it's good quality.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna go with some cheaper ones, maybe do 2 just so there's a backup.
The 2 heater thing has always been, it's to balance the risk, right?
It's kind of to balance the risk, or if you a larger tank, sometimes it's hard to find a good heater, and like a lot of
That's high
basic
enough
heaters
wattage.
stop at 300 watt,
Right.
which a lot of times isn't enough. So you need 2 of them. The LX, we're running 2 800 watt Finnex heaters, but you know they have 3 500. But we just had to surely on the size of it.
Yeah.
If smaller tanks, we run 1 heater, but it has to be a good one, and I always say with like a temperature probe.
Yeah. Cool.
Connor says, is auto top off required or just a recommended for tanks? And does the size of the tank change whether or not it's required? It is not required. You can top off your tank manually. I would say it's 110% recommended.
Yeah.
Like,
You're going to go crazy
you are.
trying to top off, well, especially this tank here.
Yeah, so if you like lugging buckets every day and topping off water, you know, and having to worry about constantly, because honestly, if you're topping off without an auto top off, like at least twice a day, you should be topping off your tanks. So this is another thing you have to deal with, and your tank's just going to be a lot more stable. So not necessary, but highly recommended.
Dan says, looks like your MP40 is a bit right off center. Is there any rhyme or reason? Is it better towards the front of the tank? That is an MP60.
Yeah, so there are actually 2 MP60s on here, and I base it upon where you have your rock. Because ideally, like center of every side thing is not going to work, and you don't want it necessarily blowing right on rock in front of it. So if there's rock right in front of centered, move it off centered, so
Yeah.
it's more. I mean, their flow is has a lot of patterns and stuff, but you still, if your rock is here, you don't want to here. you'd rather have it here.
Yeah.
You know,
Just gonna be hitting dead on, straight onto the rock.
right,
maybe
and there's like
beating up
no coral
corals.
that's probably going to be happy about that, except
Yeah.
maybe like a big colony of SPS or something.
Yeah.
So you have to base it upon your rock, and you may find that you want to change it. So, you know, just kind of figure out, and if you have two of them, they're going to communicate. So you don't really necessarily want them like 100% perfectly lined up. They're going to create their own wave patterns.
Yep.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yep. What's a good cleaning crew recommendation for a new tank? Just depends on the size of the tank, but for the most part, a handful of hermits, a couple snails, and you also want a few things that stir up the sand bed, which would be Nacerius snails, Sarah snails, or conchs for larger aquariums. But just add a few at a time and add as you need them. You don't want to add too many at once.
Katie says, what does the tank maintenance look like for the system you are showing us?
Tank
your
maintenance is, I mean, the routine of your tank maintenance is the same no matter what size tank you have. It's just kind of the size of it. Filter stocks get changed usually twice a week. Carbon and stuff gets changed once a month. Skimmer gets cleaned as the skimmer cup is dirty. And then water changes on any size tank, for the most part, I do every 2 weeks. That's really it. Clean the glass, you know, as you start to see any haze. Flip over snails if you see them upside down. Pick up corals, you know.
Keep your hands out of the
fish
tank
every
as
day.
much as
Yeah.
you can.
Keep your hands out of the tank as much as possible.
Yeah.
Feed your fish every day.
Yep. Jose says, how long has the tank been set up and running? Seems like a week.
We're on, what week are we on? 7?
15.
We're on week 15?
15?
So plus 2 time break.
Oh.
So
Okay,
17
weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So we didn't even know the answer to that. We had to do some math. 17 weeks it's been up and running. Well, no, because week 1 or 2 would be setting it up and not filling it.
Yeah, so 15.
Let's say 15 weeks roughly. It's been up and running. So if you go back onto the webpage and look through to all the videos, you can see our first one where we fill it. And we cycled it for a couple weeks, all that stuff. So you can check it out from the beginning.
We moved into the new studio in April, right? April?
April?
Pretty wild.
I know. Wow. All right. If you didn't know, if you haven't watched for a while, this is our newer studio. We came in here in April, much larger. It has a huge area for all these builds that we're doing for you guys.
It's just
and
like-
tons to come.
We've done so much
Yeah, it's been a busy.
since we moved in, and it's crazy to think that it's already been that long.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, Tim says, do your firefish fight? No, man, they seem pretty happy together.
Pretty
I really
chill.
seen firefish fight too much unless you're putting a group of them in too small of a tank. As long as they have plenty of space, they usually hang out. If they have a little coral, you probably won't even notice because they'll just separate for a little bit and come back. I have noticed our firefish, 3 of them are besties and 2 of them are besties, and sometimes all 5 hang out together, but they kind of they got their little cliques. And they're not mean to each other, but you can see they always kind of break off on occasion and then come back together. All right, lots of fish, lots of great questions. And it's time to give away a Living Reef t-shirt. Ready for that?
Ready, let's go.
All right, ready? The winner is for the t-shirt, Elmer Jimenez. Congratulations. Email winners at waterboxaquariums.com and they'll get you hooked up with your Living Reef shirt. We have 3 things to give away today. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that is for your shirt winner. Thank you guys. I love their shirts with the little fish on it.
I got
Very
some nice
nice.
hats too.
Yeah.
We gave away a hat last week.
We did a
right?
hat last week.
Yeah.
There might be another one coming your way. I don't know.
Cool.
So keep watching for that one. All right.
$100 gift
Do
card.
the Cube 10 winner.
Cube 10.
Okay, Cube 10 winner, you guys.
All right,
This was a
that added
last minute.
bonus
This morning,
here.
I messaged the team. There you go, Will.
Will Gallagher. Brian says,
Little
stop
delayed.
yapping and let's get to the winner here.
This morning, I messaged the team and I said, we're giving away a tank today.
Yeah. So email winners and they'll get you all taken care of. Congrats on your new water box. One very lucky person indeed. And another lucky person is going to be for a $100 gift card.
Yeah, so you can go pick up a cube.
This is a little much today. A little much.
I like it. I like it.
$100 gift card, get a new water box, get some stuff for your water box, whatever it may be. Can't go wrong with a gift card.
Yep.
One of the best things to receive. Are you ready for that one? All right, winner is...
Drum roll on the Waterbox drums. J Cool Fishing Channel. Congratulations, J Cool. Awesome. Email winners at waterboxaquariums.com and they'll get you hooked up.
like I said, being active in here, catching the stream live all the time, asking questions, making some friends.
Make friends in the comments, you guys.
Makes friends in the comments. Always is going to help your chances of winning.
Our firefish made friends, okay, in the comments, so you should too.
So weird. But yeah, all right. We're going to go with it. We don't judge around here. There's no point.
My favorite part about saying silly stuff on the show is watching you guys and seeing like, that's how I know if it bombs or not. Because I'm like, are they laughing?
And there's no reaction, like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, all right.
That one wasn't good. When we have everyone, we've had occasionally everyone laughing, like back there, and then like that just keeps making it worse. So I think it's Rich's goal to see how many people can cry laughing per day. So
it's tough to do. We've had some though where I was a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to stop laughing.
I know. No, there's been a few really, really bad ones. So, but we are here next week for more who knows what. You never know what you're going to get. Yeah. But we are actually talking next week about LPS corals, their care, growth, the different types, all of that. And I'm super excited to say that Anne from Living Reef Orlando is coming to be on the show. She's bringing us our goodies. She's going to talk about LPS coral and get them into the tank with us.
Yeah, you guys don't want to miss that.
No, she is awesome. You don't want to miss it. So we'll see you next week.
See ya. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, turn on those notifications, and for more information on this series, visit waterboxaquariums.com/huge.
Tune in live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to learn about how you can get more entries to our Reef LX 190.4 giveaway.
Plus, we're giving away $100 gift cards every episode, but you have to be with us here live to win.
Thanks for watching.
See you next week.